Hi, my name is David Jones. I'm the Director of New Product Development at the Third Coast Herb Company, where we make Herbalogic brand concentrated herb drops. I'm here today to talk about DECOMPRESS. That's our formula for stress and tension support. It works fast by controlling your adrenal response to stress, and it can help with conditions that get worse with stress. I'm going to talk about each of these things in turn, but let's start with a little background. DECOMPRESS is a special formula because, well, it's the most widely used formula in all of herbal medicine, whether it's used by itself or in combination with other herbs. Most herbalogic products are based on traditional Chinese herbal formulas, but we usually tweak those formulas just a bit. But this traditional formula, which in Chinese is called Xiaosan, is so perfect we did nothing to it. We don't need to change it because, as it turns out, for over 800 years, the kinds of stress and the way we respond to that stress just hasn't really changed that much. DECOMPRESS helps reset our body's response to stress by helping regulate the release of cortisol and epinephrine. It can shift the fight or flight response to what I like to call the sigh and sit response. As a result, otherwise stressful things, they're just no big deal, and people feel better equipped to deal with the aggravation of modern life. To put that in an everyday context, a common story I hear from people who take DECOMPRESS is that they'll be going about their daily activities and then something happens. Let's just say someone gets cut off in traffic. What they tell me, and this story is so consistent, is that after several minutes they get this nagging feeling that something's different but they can't quite put their finger on it. Then it dawns on them what is different is that they aren't pissed off at the driver who cut them off. They aren't chasing him down and not a single profanity is past their lips. And this kind of response, this kind of not a big deal response, is new enough to them that it's really a bit distracting at first. Now take getting cut off in traffic and expand it to a host of other experiences like dealing with unpleasant people at work, just about every aspect of traveling by air, or other people's misbehaving children. For most folks, this list is long. What all these experiences have in common is that they initiate a stress response in the body. When this happens, your adrenals release epinephrine and cortisol, and that's when things start to go downhill. And it happens more than people think it does. People don't always realize that they're living in an almost constant fight or flight response. But what a lot of people do know is that their health problems get worse with additional stress. As an acupuncturist in the clinic, I'll give DECOMPRESS to people who have conditions that get worse with stress, like the IBS or the tension headaches that show up at the same time as your in-laws. One thing I love about DECOMPRESS is that it achieves stress relief without the sedation that's a typical side effect of the pharmaceutical approach to managing stress. Drugs like Valium, Klonopin, and Xanax can work very well, but they come with the danger of dependence, rebound anxiety, and withdrawal. Traditional Chinese medicine looks at this stress, especially the stress that leads to anger, a little differently. Instead of stress being something that needs to be sedated, it treats it as something that needs to be moved. I think anyone who's felt this kind of stress can probably relate to the feeling of something being balled up inside and it just needs to be moved out, and then everything's going to be okay. So to give you a little more insight to what the herbs are in DECOMPRESS and what they do, let's take them in groups. In the first group, there's Chinese Angelica, Atractylotus, Poria, and licorice root. These herbs help support digestion and gently improve your overall energy level because, let's face it, when you're tired, you have no patience for BS. The next two herbs function to move that balled up feeling I was talking about earlier, and they're white peony root and bupleurum. They both function to clear that physical and mental stagnation. Finally, both for flavor and function, DECOMPRESS has mint and fresh ginger. Both help digestion, and mint also helps move that stagnation I was talking about. So as Chinese herbal formulas go, it's pretty simple, but often the best things are. This formula can be taken up to 3 times a day, but since it works really fast, it can be taken as needed. I know someone who keeps a bottle in her travel kit because she finds flying so aggravating. She was about to quit her job, but she started taking DECOMPRESS instead. Let's wrap this up with a little review. DECOMPRESS helps stress and tension by controlling the adrenal response. It works right now, so you don't have to wait a week to get relief. Decompress moderates conditions that get worse when you're under stress, and it can transform a flight or fight response into something that's a whole lot more manageable. Thanks for watching, and as always, there's more information on the website, and if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. We'd love to hear from you.